Fame and wealth may insulate you against many of life's rougher edges, but they offer little protection when it comes to grief and loss. John Travolta has a career that has stretched over 4 decades and earned him renown as a pop culture icon. With a Golden Globe Award and 2 Oscar nominations, with a fortune estimated at £150 million, Travolta has experienced a lot of dark moments in his life. In 1976, at the start of his career, 23-year-old Travolta, on the set of the TV movie The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, had fallen for his on-screen mother, the Emmy-winning actress Diana Hyland, who was 18 years his senior. "I have never been more in love with anyone in my life," he later remembered. "We were like two maniacs, talking all the time on the set of Bubble. After a month it became romantic." Tragedy followed shortly afterwards, however. In the same year that Saturday Night Fever made him an international star and sex symbol as the cleft-chinned, white-suited disco king Tony Manero, winning him the first of those Oscar nominations. Travolta was at Hyland's bedside as she lost her own battle with breast cancer. Her son Zachary subsequently revealed his mother died in Travolta's arms. Such trauma so early in his adult life, Travolta reflected in an interview in 2014, had taken the edge of death and bequeathed him a certain strength. "I'm probably less terrified of death than your average fellow now," he said, "because people so near to me have suffered before their time, and I just feel that if they can do it, so can I. I almost feel like it's disrespectful to fear it when others have been able to do it." Like most Hollywood love stories, John Travolta and Kelly Preston's first meeting was on screen. The stage was set for the two during the screen test for the 1989 comedy The Experts, and would become one of the most desirable romances in Hollywood history. However, at the time of their first meeting, Preston was still married to Space Camp star Kevin Cage. Nevertheless, she would later confess that she was not that happily married. Preston and Cage parted ways in 1985, after being married for only 2 years. Preston then got involved in a few high-profile romances, briefly moving on with George Clooney and Charlie Sheen, before finally settling down with the man she would spend the rest of her life with, Travolta. Preston confessed that it was kinda love at first sight for her and Travolta, and as soon as she was single again, after breaking things off with Sheen in 1990, Travolta wasted no time. He swooped in and swept her off her feet, and the two started a whirlwind romance that would culminate in marriage and kids. Travolta went all out with his New Year's Eve proposal, presenting Preston with a 6-carat yellow and white diamond ring. The proposal was pretty sudden, and when Travolta asked Preston to marry him, she reportedly screamed. Their relationship brought them so much happiness that those close to them could see the undeniable joy on their faces. "I've never seen Johnny happier," said a family member of the Can't Let You Go actor, further stating, "I guess it's timing. John and Kelly are both ready to settle down." Preston's mother also confessed that her daughter had always been involved with the bad boy kind, but had admitted that Travolta was different. "He is so kind and loving and generous," she shared. The Switzerland proposal was followed closely by their unannounced wedding at the Hotel de Crillon in Paris and the second ceremony in Daytona Beach, Florida. At the time of their nuptials, Preston was 2 months pregnant with their first son, Jet, who they welcomed in 1992. The pair had a good marriage and always looked smitten with each other. Preston would often gush over her husband and their love, even occasionally sharing the secrets of their idyllic marriage. During a sit-down with Good Morning America, the gaudy actress revealed that the glue that kept their marriage intact was communication. She also emphasized the importance of putting work into the marriage. "Keep it fun. It doesn't happen on its own. You've got to work on it." Preston also had some wonderful compliments for her husband and pointed out some of her favorite things about the two-of-a-kind star. She declared that she loved his hips, loved how much fun he was, and even how much they loved dancing. They were indeed a sight to behold, and their love reached new levels when in 2000 they welcomed their second baby, daughter Ella Blue. The arrival of their daughter only added to their happiness, and raising their babies together brought fulfillment for them. For the years they were together, they never forgot the importance of appreciating their love for each other and always made time to be together. Celebrating birthdays and anniversaries was the norm, and the two would often make tear-jerking tributes to each other. Their marriage was one of a kind that lasted a long time and was filled with love and a timeless appreciation for each other. Unfortunately, their happiness was cut short when they suffered a heartbreaking family tragedy in 2009. Family had been vacationing in the Bahamas when they experienced the parents' worst nightmare after their son Jed, 16 at the time, suffered a seizure and hit his head on the bathtub. Jed, who had Kawasaki syndrome, a rare autoimmune disease, was pronounced deceased at Rand Memorial Hospital, leaving his parents devastated. Travolta often said he was happy as long as his children were happy, and his son's passing left him heartbroken. Following Jed's devastating death, Travolta and Preston would pay tribute to their departed son with beautiful memories of their time together. A couple of years after the devastating loss, the lovebirds had reason to celebrate after they welcomed a new addition to the family, son Benjamin. The little boy helped his parents cope with the loss of their older son, and Travolta considered him the glue that pulled them together. He's given the house a renewed spirit and purpose. Unfortunately, another loss was around the corner, one that would tear Travolta's world apart. On the morning of July 12, 2020, Travolta experienced another loss when Preston passed away after a 2-year characteristic battle with breast cancer. Even as he grieved this significant loss, Travolta shared the saddening news with his fans, saying that his wife's love would always be remembered. Months after his wife's demise, Travolta honored her on what would have been her 58th birthday, posting a throwback photo of their wedding day. While the Eyes of an Angel star was no stranger to grief after losing his son, the death of his wife hit him hard, and even several years later, he is still not ready to date. He has not entirely closed himself up for love, but it will be a long while until he dates again. Travolta now chooses to focus on his children. He disclosed that he wanted to help his son evolve as a fulfillment of Preston's dream, to see her children grow up, get married, and become parents. He is also a super present dad in Ella's life, and the pair recently broke the internet after recreating his famous Grease dance for a Super Bowl commercial. He disclosed that he would never want to dance with anyone but his daughter.